Okay, so my assignment was to make a battery because the first battery that was ever made was made by an Italian named Alessandro Volta, and he made the battery and he called it a voltic pile. So I'm gonna be making, for this month's project, I'm gonna be making the same design as he did. I gathered all the supplies. Now I'm just gonna recreate his invention. So what you're gonna need is, let me adjust the camera. Alright, so what you're gonna need is flat copper washers. I got 5 of them, but you could use however many you want. The more washers you use, the bigger the battery is going to be, the more powerful it's going to be, the more charge it's going to hold. And then you also need, I got 5 flat zinc washers. And then you're also going to want to cut out these little pieces of paper that are the same size as the washers, because they're going to go in between them like this. And then I have some electrical tape to hold it all together. And then I borrowed my uncle's multimeter to measure the charge. You're also going to need salt and water. Alright, so first, you also need, let me grab a washcloth. You're also going to need like a washcloth. So first, we're gonna take the salt, mix it in with the water. It's not an exact mixture, but you know, it's gotta be enough to where, you know, it's salty water, pretty salty. Put a little bit more. Mix it up. Alright. Now I'm going to take that salt water that I just mixed up and I'm going to put it into a different container. Now, so you don't need these, but I'm using it just because I don't want to get my hands all wet and salty. Now I'm just going to take the pieces of paper that I showed you. I'm just going to do them all at once because I don't think it makes a difference. I'm just going to hold them all like this and just dip them in, get them soaked in that salty water. Make sure that, I mean, they gotta be soaked. Alright, and then once you get them nice and wet, you place it on the washcloth to let them dry out. Because whenever you put them on the battery, you want them to be like, you want them to be soaked, but you don't want them to be dripping. Alright, like that. Now you can see that they're just sitting right here on the washcloth. I'm going to set that aside, let them dry off a little bit. Set that water aside. Now here's where the washers come in. So for this, it's going to be like a pattern. You're going to do copper. I'm doing copper first. And then in between the copper, you're going to put the paper. And then on top of the paper, you're going to put the washer. And then you're going to just start the pattern over again. So, copper. Take this piece of paper, set it right on top. You need to make sure that the paper is big enough to completely cover the washer, because whenever you put the zinc washer on the copper washer, they can't be touching. Like that. It's like a sandwich. Alright, and then you're going to do that with all of your washers. So then I'm going to do copper, paper, zinc, copper, paper, zinc, okay, so once you have all your little sandwiches, then you are going to take those and you're going to stack them. So there doesn't need to be a piece of paper in between each one. So now you just want to make sure that that the zinc and the copper are the ones going together. They're the ones touching. Put it together like that. And then you just do that with all of them. So the pattern should be copper, zinc, copper, paper, zinc, copper, paper, zinc, you know. Pretty simple pattern. Alright. Now, you want to, so that looks good. Just make sure that the paper doesn't fold over. Make sure the paper isn't so big that it doesn't fold over and touch the other paper, because that'll cancel out the charge. Like that. Alright, now I'm going to use, now I'm going to fix it because the paper just unfolded a little bit. Now I'm going to use the tape that I got, and I'm going to use this to hold it together. I'm just going to wrap it. I'm going to do it on the side. Really, I don't think it matters that much. I'm going to do it on the side so that we can easily measure, because you need the top and the bottom of the battery to be exposed so that you can measure the charge. Take that. I'm going to cut it. Alright, so now I got it wrapped up like this. And that's basically your battery. So you can make that. I think it's cool because you can make it bigger or smaller. You just put more, pieces of copper and zinc and paper, and you can make it as big as you want. And the bigger it is, the more charge it holds. Like I saw online, there were people who were doing this and it had like 24 volts, which is crazy. That's like a really strong battery. So now we're going to measure the charge, because we want to see how efficient this one is. So I'm going to turn it to its side. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Alright, so I got the battery. I'm turning it over on its side to where the sides are exposed. You put it on top of this so that you can see better. Alright, so the sides are exposed. And you just touch one of the prongs to each side. Okay, it's got a charge of 2.8 volts, which is pretty good. So it's a decent battery. That's that could power the that could power your remote control to your TV. Look, I'll show you. Let's see. I don't know if you could see. Yeah, 2.5. It looks like it's a pretty good charge. So that's the that was my project for this month. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.